Hello, sports fans, and welcome to Week 3 of the NFL and Scott Sports 101 NFL Football Sunday. We'll talk Week 3 and we'll recap the Thursday night game. But first, here is today's Scott Sports 101 trivia question. What player led the NFL with 27 rushing touchdowns in 2003? I'll have the answer later in the broadcast. Well, it's Week 3 of the NFL regular season. And the Cleveland Browns and the New York Jets on Thursday night kicked off Week 3, and the Browns beat the New York Jets 21-17 and got their first win of the season and their first win in 635 days since Christmas Eve 2016, ending the Browns' winless streak and their 17-game losing streak. And I've said before, and I'll say it again, Baker Mayfield is the real deal, and he will get his first start when the Browns play the Oakland Raiders next Sunday in Week 4. Now, I gotta tell you, I felt Thursday was a great game for the Browns and also the Browns and the Jets. It really started. The Browns didn't look good the first half, but they sure came back in the second half. Tyrod Taylor was evaluated for concussion and was taken out of the game, but he went 4 for 14, 19 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. And Baker Mayfield was 17 of 23, 19 yards, no touchdowns, and no interceptions. And Carlos Hyde, Baker Mayfield was one that got a game ball, and the other one that got one of my game balls was Carlos Hyde. He had 23 carries, 98 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So hopefully now the Browns are 1-1-1, and hopefully this is something the start of something, the turnaround and something good to really have a change happen. So, and meanwhile, elsewhere in the NFL, in Week 3 of the NFL, excuse me. In the early 1 o'clock games, the Buffalo Bills will take on the Minnesota Vikings at U.S. Bank Stadium in Minnesota. And the Vikings are coming off a win from last week. I think the Vikings, they actually have from a tie with the Green Bay Packers last week. And the Bills are, the Bills are coming off a loss to the Chargers last week, and I do feel that Minnesota has the edge in this game. So I feel Minnesota's going to really take this one today. The New York Giants will take on the Houston Texans at NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas. And the Giants, both teams are coming off a loss last week, I believe. I got to look here. Both the Giants and the Jaguars, excuse me. Although the Jaguars are coming off an upset, but the Giants are coming off a loss. It's the Giants. Yes, they are both. The Jets are coming off. The Jaguars are coming off a big upset last week. And the Giants are coming off a loss last week, but the Texans are both coming off a loss too last week because they did not win last week. I said the wrong team. Excuse me. Let me look back at. The Texans are coming off a win last week. Excuse me, but I feel that the Giants are going to want to win this one, and I feel that the Giants are going to beat Houston on the road today. The Green Bay Packers are coming off a tie last week, and the Redskins are coming off a loss, or a win, excuse me, I believe. Let me look. I got to take a look at something here. They're coming off a loss last week, and Washington just struggled. But they're playing at FedEx Field in Washington, and I feel that the Redskins have the edge in this one. That the Redskins do. Or actually, no, excuse me, I take that back. I feel that the Packers are going to come away with this one and win this one on the road. They're going to want to win. And I really feel, and Aaron Rodgers is questionable to start for the Packers today. The San Francisco 49ers will take on the Kansas City Chiefs at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, and I feel that KC has the edge in this one with them playing in Kansas City, and they won last week, and the 49ers as well, but I feel KC has the edge. The Oakland Raiders will take on the Miami Dolphins at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, Florida. And I really feel that Miami has the edge in this game. And I know Oakland, they do want to win after that, after blowing that lead and losing to Denver last week. But Miami's coming off a win, and I just feel that Miami's got the edge in this one. The Indianapolis Colts will take on the Super Bowl champions, Philadelphia Eagles, at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And I believe they're in Philly. Philly is tough at home. I gotta say, the Eagles have the edge in this one. They're gonna win this ball game. The Tennessee Titans will take on the Jacksonville Jaguars in Everbank Stadium in Jacksonville, Florida. And I feel after that big upset Jacksonville had last week, I feel the Jaguars have the edge in this game, and I really feel they're going to win this ball game. The Cincinnati Bengals will take on the Carolina Panthers at Bank of America Stadium in North Carolina. And I feel that Cincinnati is going to beat Carolina on the road. Don't ask me why, but I just have this feeling. And because Carolina struggled last week against Atlanta. And I just feel Cincinnati's got the edge in this game. The Denver Broncos will take on the Baltimore Ravens at M&T Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. And I feel that Baltimore has the edge in this one because Baltimore is tough at home, and they are coming off a win last week over actually, they lost last week to Cincinnati, but I feel Baltimore has the edge in this one. The New Orleans Saints will take on the Atlanta Falcons at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. And I feel Atlanta's tough at home, and I have to go with Atlanta. I feel Atlanta's gonna really have the edge in this one and really win this one. And that's all your early 1 o'clock games. Now in the we'll get to the late games and Sunday Monday night game in just a sec. But it is now time for the answer to today's Scott Sports 101 trivia question. What player led the NFL with 27 yards rushing touchdowns in 2003? If you said Priest Holmes, you are correct. In 2003, Priest Holmes played a vital role in the Kansas City Chiefs' 9-0 start and franchise best 13-3 season. He set a new NFL record with 27 rushing touchdowns. I'll have another trivia question on my next broadcast, which will be tomorrow. Now, in the late games, the 4 o'clock games, the LA Chargers will take on the LA Rams at Memorial Coliseum in Los Angeles, and I feel that with the even though the Chargers won last week, I feel the Rams have the edge in this game because they really walloped and hammered Arizona last week, and I just feel that the Rams by far have the edge in this game. The Chicago Bears will take on the Arizona Cardinals at University of Phoenix Stadium in Arizona. I feel that Chicago is going to win this one on the road, and I have this feeling that it's just Chicago's going to be all over Arizona, and I think Arizona's just they've struggled the past couple of games, and I think they go to 0-3, and I don't know. Don't ask me why, but I just really feel that the Bears are going to win on the road. The Dallas Cowboys will take on the Seattle Seahawks at CenturyLink Field in Seattle. And I feel that even though Dallas is playing in Seattle, Seattle's tough at home, and I gotta go with Seattle because I feel they've got the edge in this one. And Pete Carroll has given the edge if their quarterback is going to start the game or if he's going to put the backup in. So we'll have to wait and see on that. Your Sunday night football game, which kicks off at 8:20 p.m. on NBC. The New England Patriots will take on the Detroit Lions at Ford Field in Detroit. And I feel the New England Patriots by far are going to beat Detroit on the road. And I just feel Detroit is struggling, and I think they're going to fall to 0-3 too. I feel the Pats have the edge in this one. And now your Monday night game, which starts at 8:15 p.m. That'll kick off. The Pittsburgh Steelers will take on the Tampa Bay Bucks, the Buccaneers, at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida. And I feel this is an important game for the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers need to win this game. And I feel that I can't go, and I'm going with Pittsburgh by far in this one. So, and that's all the games for this week. And it is now time for my picks of the week. We've already had the Browns and Jets game, and I took the Browns in that one, and that's what I've already won on. I've gone with the Eagles to beat the Colts, and I feel they're going to have the edge in that one. And I'm going to go with the Bengals to beat the Panthers on the road, as I've said. I'm taking the Jaguars to beat the Titans because they're tough at home, and after that big upset last week, I think I've got the edge. I'm going with the Falcons to beat the Saints, and I feel that the Falcons have the edge in that game. And I'm going with the Ravens to beat the Broncos, I think, by a touchdown, I'm going to say, and I feel that the Ravens have the edge in that game, as I've said before. I'm going with the Packers to beat the Redskins on the road. And I feel that they really have the edge in this one, even though Washington is playing at home. And I'm going with the Giants to beat the Texans because I feel that the Giants really want to win this one. And I feel they're going to beat the Texans on the road. We'll see. I'm going with the Vikings by far to beat the Bills because Buffalo struggled last week. And I just feel that the Vikings have more of the edge in this game because they're tough at home in Minnesota. And I'm going Miami to beat Oakland because I feel they're in Miami, and I feel Miami's got the edge, and I feel that they're going to win that ball game. The Chiefs, I picked the Chiefs to beat the 49ers by far because Kansas City's tough at Arrowhead Stadium when they're at home, and I feel they've got the edge in that one. And I've gone with the Rams by far to beat the Chargers after their performance last week. They just walloped Arizona, and I feel that the Bears are going to win it on the road in Arizona, and I've taken the Bears for that one. I've taken the Seahawks to beat the Cowboys because I feel they've got the edge in that one, and I feel they're going to get the win. And the Patriots by far for a Sunday night game to beat the Lions because by far Detroit's going to fall to 0-3, and I really feel that they are going to fall to 0-3. And I'm going with the Steelers to beat the Bucks on Monday Night Football because I feel that's an important win for the Steelers. They're going to want to be 1-1 like the Cleveland Browns. And those are my picks of the week. And I really feel this is going to be a wild week of NFL football in Week 3. And I think it's going to have a lot of ups and downs, and we could have a few upsets. So anything can happen. Any team can beat any given team on any given Sunday. And you've got to realize that. And I just really feel there's going to be a lot of ups and downs this week and a lot of interesting things happening with these games. And I really feel that's why I feel it's going to be a wild week of NFL football this week in Week 3. So I really feel that, after fans are still ecstatic and can't believe that the Browns won Thursday night, and now that we're 1-1, and just what a game Thursday night. But there's going to be a lot of great games today as well, and tonight and tomorrow as well. Well, that is going to wrap it up for the Scott Sports 101 NFL Football Sunday pregame show, and I'll be back with the postgame show after all the early games have concluded. And then I'll do after the late games conclude, do another post-game show, and after your Sunday night game as well. But until then, always remember, be a team player each and every day, in every way possible. So long, everybody. 3, 2, 1, I'm done.